Hey guys, welcome back to the Tone Show. Today we're asking the question, why is there a literal child working at Lumon? We're gonna find an answer. So obviously there's spoilers for season 2. If you haven't watched Severance season 2, then bookmark this video and come back later because we're gonna be spitting balling a whole bunch of theories. And don't get mad at me if my theories are right. If it turns out that I'm right, so here we go. What do we know so far about Miss Huang? She's probably the one that's responsible for Mr. Milchick getting that bad employee review, in which they found that he used too many big words and also that he didn't know how to use paper clips, that he put them incorrectly. Those two things, Miss Wong probably dropped dime on him for. So we know that their relationship is a little bit contentious. So at the end of season 2, when Mr. Milchick said that she'll be leaving her parents, let's come back to that, and that the Wintertide internship is done. Besides asking the question, who is Miss Wong? The question really is, what is Miss Wong? Now, I don't think there's any coincidences on this show. Now, the fact that Gemma and Mark, before this whole Severance thing happened, they were trying to have a child and they were undergoing fertility treatments. And then Gemma had an accident in which Mark thought she died in a car accident. But then we find out that she did not die, obviously. So I don't think there's any coincidences on the fact that there's a child now working at Lumon. Is it possible that beyond actually messing around with severed employees, they actually collected Gemma's DNA and somehow grew a child out of her? That Miss Wong is actually the child of Mark S. and Gemma? Is that even possible? Well, it could be, right? Because why else is she a child? And why is she so creepy and they don't really address it? My other question is Miss Wong an innie or an outie? Or is she just a regular person? Or is she just one of the severed children that they have running around there, right? So are they experimenting with growing like live children? Is Lumon trying to get actual employees, like give birth to actual employees so they don't have to pay them and they'll be literally loyal and servants of the company? That's a possibility, right? So circling back, is the Wintertide Intern just a code name like Cold Harbor? And it really represents like children that are biologically grown inside of Lumon to be the perfect Lumon employees. Like when Mr. Milchick said you're leaving your parents, I don't think he was talking about her biological parents. I think she was talking about basically her outies that are responsible for her, maybe her guardians. And like I said, maybe the biological parents are Mark and Gemma. I don't think it's a coincidence that Gemma's Asian and Miss Huang is Asian. And maybe she's biracial, really. Maybe she's also Mark Sess's daughter, right? It's a possibility. But the other possibility, and don't get mad at me if I'm right, let's think about the fact that Lumon has a whole bunch of sheep running around, right? They have the whole sheep herder like division. And I don't think that all those sheep are just for sacrificial, like celebratory sacrifices, right? I don't think they're all sacrifices. What if the sheep are just a hint to Dolly, the first cloned mammal? You know Dolly, the first cloned sheep. What if they're actually dealing with cloning? And Miss Wong is maybe not the biological child of Mark and Gemma. What if she is a clone of Gemma? What if actually Lumon is trying not just to employ people, but they're actually trying to grow like their own biological clone employees that are severed? They're trying to give birth to severed employees. So think of it. You won't have to deal with the whole disloyalty that you've had with Mark S. You don't have to worry about secrets. These are children, or better yet, clones that are grown like from inception, and they grow up to be severed employees with 25 distinct personalities. Like they would be like the perfect army for Lumon, never questioning. I think the whole one of the things about Miss Wong that we find kind of like disconcerting, right, is like it's her temperament. And when she plays with things, like it's kind of creepy when she plays with the little Etch A Sketch thing that she had with the bubbles. Like it's childlike, but the same way it's not childlike. It's like a clone, like learning its first steps. And I'm not sure if that's just the genius of the portrayal of the actress who portrays her. So Miss Wong's full name is Utise Wong. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. And she's portrayed by Sarah Bach. But Sarah Bach's portrayal of her is so genius that she comes across as robotic. So I'm wondering if that's the reason that she comes across so eerie and like so like not normal at times, right? And she's a little bit off-putting. Maybe it's because she's a clone. And the sheep that we're seeing on that floor is just a hint or like the early development of what they're really aiming towards, which is actually to clone employees, not just regular employees, but to clone severed employees. So what do you think? Is it possible that Miss Wong is either the biological child of Mark S. and Gemma, or is it even more sci-fi? She's actually just a clone. She's the first severed employee clone. So it'd be crazy if next season we see another Miss Wong and another Miss Wong and multiple Miss Wongs with different names maybe, all throughout different floors and different buildings, and that the Wintertide program is really a code name for a program that involves clothing. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. Am I off the rails with these theories? What do you think? What's the other reason? You think it's as simple as they just have child interns? I don't think it's that simple. There's nothing that simple when it comes to Lumon and this show. The show is always one step ahead of us. So I'm just following those steps, those little crumbs, and seeing where it takes us. I really enjoy Severance, and I'm looking forward to season 3. So I'm definitely going to pick up with season 3 and follow up on those tidbits and see if I was right. As always, this is the Tone Show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tone Show.